guys, as promised, I'm here with my classes Q&A. Thank you to everyone who left a question. If you have any more questions at all, you can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, or leave a message down below and I will answer your questions. So let's get on with it. The first question I've got is from Pat Kelly, and she says, I don't understand how online classes work. Are these on Ustream or what? If you miss a class, is it still available to you? Okay. How online classes work varies from teacher to teacher. My online classes are recorded in advance. I put them up live on the day that they're due, and then they stay up until I retire the class, basically. My videos are uploaded to Vimeo, so you can watch it on any platform. The videos themselves, I did a poll of over 500 students 18 months ago, and almost everyone said I would rather have smaller video files that I can watch on my phone or anywhere than have huge mega HD files that take forever to download. So my videos are high definition, but they're very, very compact. They are very small downloads. They are available on Vimeo, and each one is passworded, so when you sign up for a class and the videos go live, it will always say video with the link and password, whatever the password is. All you do is type in the password and you're in. You can sign up to Vimeo if you want to, and that allows you to save the links to videos in your Vimeo. It's just the same as, you know, flagging to a playlist on YouTube or something like that. The videos are on average 200 to 500 megabytes each. So they're quite small videos. A lot of people do HD videos and they're 3 or 4 gigs and everything else, and I just don't see the point in that. There comes a point where you can't make the resolution any better on screen, and there's very few people who watch my videos on a full-size HD screen. I believe Tracy Reinhardt does, and I'm sure if Tracy saw a video on YouTube and she said, hang on a minute, this is really bad quality on this one, she would let me know. But so far so good, and the videos are the same quality as they are on YouTube. You can download the videos to keep from Vimeo, and you can download them in the regular format or in short format, which means they're even smaller, so they're really, really condensed. So say you were going away on holiday and you wanted to download a few videos to take with you, you could do that, pop them on your phone, on your SD card, or even download them on your computer or your tablet, wherever, and, you know, play with them while you were away, watch them offline. If you have a very slow connection, I do have several people in my class who are still on basically dial-up, and they don't have any problems. They basically just set it to download overnight, and it takes a couple of hours, and they just get the videos that way. But so far nobody's had any problems with streaming them. Now, as far as the duration of the class, I put up a class for a live class every day. So for instance, When Frogs Sing 2015 is running from the 1st of January right through to the end of December. I am putting up a class every day that we're scheduled to have a class. We obviously don't have a class every single day, that would be crazy. But we do like 6 planning, 6 writing or font work, and then 6 drawing, and then you have a week off to catch up or do your own creative stuff or do your own journaling or perhaps work on another project, whatever you want to do. So it's not full on intense every single day. You have an hour and a half lesson to watch. It's like, you know, you have a short video that'll show you what today's class is, and then for the big class, the drawing class on week 3, you have 2 weeks to do that class if you want to. So you don't have to rush to get it all done. You can work on it at your own pace. You don't have to be doing today's class today. You could do today's class in 3 weeks' time, or you could do today's class today, but you haven't done last week's, that's okay, it doesn't matter, you can go back to it. The classes at the moment, I'm in the middle of transitioning from an old site to a new site. So everything that is currently available on the new site will be available indefinitely. Everything that is currently available on the old site may not make it to the new site. So some of the old Christmas classes and things like that, some of them won't be available. Once I retire a class, I normally will give 3 to 6 months notice that I'm retiring a class, and it will normally be at the end of a year. So you'll have plenty of time. If you want to download all the materials or print all the materials or anything like that, you will have plenty of time to do that. Don't worry about that. If you miss a class, you miss a class. It doesn't matter. Do it, don't do it, catch up, do 2 at once, do it later in the year when we're doing something that you're not interested in. Skip those classes, and, you know, for instance, if you started now, you would start with the July class. You could start in July and do July to December, and then you could go back and do January to June next year if you want to, or you could just ignore it, or you could skip it, or you could pick and choose which ones you want to do. You could start today and do today's class, and then you could work through it, and when we get to one that you don't like, you could go back and say, right, January, I fancy doing that one. And then carry on, and oh no, I don't like today's class, I'll go back and do that one from February. Okay, so it's completely up to you. But the classes are not self-study. None of my classes are self-study, they are live taught classes. If the class is already released and it's not an ongoing release, then the class is up in its entirety, but you are still expected to work through the class from the beginning to the end. And if you want to put up class questions, you want to take part in the discussions, if you want to go back and do some more work. I've had one girl who did my Portraits 2 class 2 years ago, and she's now doing it again because she wanted some more practice. She is uploading, and she's uploading her faces, her drawings for critique, and as and when I get time to do them, I go back and I critique her drawings and I show her how she can improve them. I give her pointers, I give her directions. You don't have to join in, you don't have to join the discussions, you don't have to keep up with the class, you don't have to do anything. What I do ask is that you commit to 5 minutes a day for any class, because I think it's important that you keep your practice going, even if you're only doing warm-up sketches or warm-up practice exercises, or maybe spending 5 minutes just doing a stream of consciousness writing or anything. I don't care what you do, but commit to 5 minutes a day, because it's an ongoing practice and an ongoing habit. And if you want to get better, you're going to need that time. So once I retire a class, I will let you know. You'll have time to download any materials you want, print out any information you want, and then the class will be deleted. I do not just delete a class randomly without telling anybody. That is one of my pet peeves with some of the teachers that I've been with, that suddenly a class will just disappear overnight and you're like, oh, where's the class gone? And you're like, oh, well, that one's finished, so it's been deleted. You're like, but I'm 4 lessons behind. I don't like that, so I don't do it. I don't involve a lot of printing or anything like that in my classes. Each class is it's all set up on a forum, so you have a forum post for the day that has your video link, it has your information, it has your intro, it has any additional links. If there is a PDF that goes with it, which is very rare, but if there is a PDF, it will be attached to that post. And if you want to, you could print the whole post and pop it in your journal. I usually try and keep it short enough that if you wanted to write it in your journal, you could do that as well, and then put notes on the video afterwards. This is more of a comment than a question, but Jennifer Faber says, thank you for letting newbies in to check in on your site before becoming students. This is very exciting, and quarterly classes to fit the budget. That's great. Yes, this comes onto the format of my classes and how you can purchase classes. I try to fit all budgets wherever possible. For my yearly class, When Frogs Sing 2015, if you are an existing student, you normally get the option to sign up in advance in sort of August the year before if you want to, which gives you plenty of time to pay for the class. The year-long classes are currently £99, the two that are available at the moment. That's When Frogs Sing 2014 and When Frogs Sing 2015, which is live at the moment, which is a current release. I do like to try and keep a regular format so that people know how much a class is going to cost. And what I've been doing with my year-long classes is to break them down into topics. Last year, it was easy to break it down into 13 different topics that we covered and just charge £10 per class. So you could take the urban sketching class, the creative writing class, and perhaps the portraits class, put them all together and say, right, I want those three, that's £30. I don't want to do the rest of the class, I'll just have those, please. You can do that if you want to. This year I'm doing it slightly different. Rather than putting things up every month, I'm actually doing it in quarterly sessions, sort of semesters. So you can do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October, November, December. The drawing classes are all based on using very simple shapes to create drawings. You do not have to be in any way advanced in drawing to do it. You can be an absolute beginner. I've got people in my class who had never picked up a pencil before and who are doing exceptionally well. Some of them are just, I've got to admit, some of them actually draw better than I do. And they've only just started in January, you know. And I've got other people, like my girl who's doing her Portraits 2 class. When she started 2 years ago, she was not very good at all. And now the stuff that she's producing is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of her and how far she's come, because she can really see, looking back, how she's worked at things and how she's progressed. And I love that when a student can say, yes, I've filled this sketchbook, here's the first one and here's the last one, and look how good this one is. I really encourage students not to measure themselves against what I do or what other people in the class do, but what they do themselves. So if your very first drawing was absolutely rubbish and you were happy to say, look, I drew a stick man and it's rubbish, yay. And then 6 weeks later you draw another stick man and it's good, you can put that up and say, look, I've improved, I've got better. It doesn't matter that you're not drawing as well as somebody else in the class. It doesn't matter that your stick man is a bit out of proportion. It doesn't matter that your stick man, even though you thought it was rubbish, is actually better than somebody else's stick man. It's irrelevant. You measure yourself against your own targets. I'm just there to give you ideas, show you how I do things, show you some techniques, let you try them out, and then when you come back to me and say, right, this is what I drew, what do you think? You know, I don't just sit there and say, oh yes, that's very good, dear. That's very nice. I love the colour of that. That's very nice. That is a cop-out. I will say things like, yes, I love the colour you've done that, or I love the way you've done this, or I love the shading you've put in there, or whatever. But I will also nearly always find something that you can improve on, because to me, if a student is handing in work for a critique, they are not handing it in to get a pat on the head. They're handing it in to be able to see where they may have gone wrong, or where they may have been able to improve, or something that they could do that would improve their picture and make it better. So you can't submit work for my classes and just expect a pat on the head and a gold star. You don't just get a gold star for participating in my classes, you will get critique. And if that critique involves saying, well, yes, the top half is very good, but the bottom you've gone a bit skew and here's why, then that's a learning experience. I'm a teacher. I'm not there to pat you on the head, I'm there to help you improve your drawing. And if I don't tell you where you've gone wrong, or where you could have done better, or where you might try something different, then I'm not doing my job properly. So getting back to prices, I got a little bit sidetracked there, sorry. I get passionate about critiquing. There are several tiers of classes. There is the overall class, and that will often be a set of 3 smaller classes or 1 long class, and that'll usually be £99 or £125. Sometimes it's cheaper if you sign up early, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's the same price but you can have a payment plan. There's all sorts of ways of doing it. If you are not sure, email me. That's all you have to do. If you can't find the information on the site, just email me. Or go onto the site, register for an account, and in the student lounge, which everybody has access to, there is a Q&A thread where you can post questions for me and you can say, well, how does this work? I don't understand this. What's the price of this? How's this going? When's this coming out? Etc. As far as pricing structure goes, I try to offer a range of prices because not everybody can afford everything in one go. And I do appreciate that. For the larger classes, the When Frogs Sing, which is a full year class, or for the groups of 3, Portraits 1, 2, 3 and things like that, I will normally offer them as a group discount. If you buy all 3 of them together, or you buy it early, or you pay for it early, then you get it for a discounted price, and that's normally £99. Obviously prices change. £99 is roughly $140. If you can afford that in one go at the beginning of the class or before you start, then that's great. Pay for it, get it done, you're done. All you've got to do is wait for the class to come up. If you can't afford that, that's fine. Perhaps you need to break it down. When Frogs Sing 2015, I've broken it into quarterlies. So you can do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Last year's class, When Frogs Sing 2014, was 13 different topics, and it was easier to break them into topics, and they were £10 each, which is about $14. Everything that is listed in pounds, and I prefer people to pay in pounds because that's my currency and it just is easier for me. But it does have current American and Euro conversions. I haven't done Australian dollars because Australian dollars tends to be very near to American, same as Canadian. But you know, should the exchange rates fluctuate wildly, I will start adding in Australian dollars. But for the most part, I find pounds, US dollars and euros is pretty much the 3 that everybody uses. So that's all listed, but you do pay in pounds. So there's the mini classes for £10. There's the 3-month classes for £30. I also have odd 1 or 2 classes that I tend to put up. Christmas Chronicles goes up in December. That is a Christmas planning class. Now, because I was very, very ill last year, and virtually the day I started filming I got sick, I ended up doing all of the Christmas Chronicles basically over 3 or 4 days, and then I didn't have time to shoot the drawing classes because I was so ill. So what I decided to do this year, or Christmas 2014, was Christmas 2014 I left it at the planning and writing, and then we're doing Christmas in July. So if you already signed up for Christmas 2014 Christmas Chronicles, you will automatically be added to Christmas in July this year. You can also do Christmas in July now, and you can do Christmas Chronicles 2015 later in the year if you want to. I just think it's easier to break it up. But those people who've already paid for Christmas Chronicles 2014, it should have included this drawing session, so you'll automatically be added to it on the new site. If you are not on the new site, you need to go and register. Okay, I'll put the link down there. You need to go and register. Speaking of registration, the answer to the security question is Scooby. He is the puppy who likes to sing. Scooby, S-C-O-O-B-Y. Okay, it's to keep spammers out, because the only people who are going to know that are the people who are watching these videos waiting for me to say what's the answer to the security question, or the people who have emailed me and said what's the answer to the security question. It just makes life easier all round. You can register for the site. As soon as you know the security answer, that's it, you're in, bang, you're a student. Okay, you've got access to the student lounge, you've got access to the student forum. You can ask me questions, you can purchase a class, and then once you've purchased a class, normally within 24 hours it will pop up on your page as a forum, and you just go into the forum and you'll see a post for each session. And then you click on that, and in the very first post you've got the introduction about what it is, the video links, any additional information, any additional PDFs, it's all there. And once you've done your work, if you want to upload it, you can upload it to the gallery and insert it into that post. You don't need to go anywhere else. You can just reply to that thread. If you want to comment about it, if you want to ask a question about it, if you want to ask a specific thing that you've seen in the video that I haven't covered, you can ask about it in that thread. All you do is reply to the thread, just like a normal forum. There's no going into different groups and this, that and the other. You just go into your class, and in the forum is all the information. Renee Yu says, where do you see your classes going in the future? I don't have any plans. If people ask me for a class, I'll do it. I had no plans to do a year-long class, but so many people asked me for a year-long class in journaling that I thought, well, I might as well do it. I've now had so many people ask me for basic drawing classes that I'm thinking, well, I might as well do it. So many people have asked me to rerun the Whimsical Workspaces group and do that. I might as well do it. You know, if that's what people want to do, that's what I'll do. I don't sit here going, oh yes, but I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. I will produce what people want me to produce. I was asked last year, could I do planner classes? So I incorporated the planner class into When Frogs Sing 2014 and then again in When Frogs Sing 2015, but as a project because everybody was saying, I want to learn how to do projects. So, you know, whatever the feedback is that I get from my classes or from you guys on YouTube who say, oh, I'd really like to learn how to do that, that's what I go by. So I don't have any specific plans, but I want to do more classes. I love doing classes and I have plenty of ideas for classes if you don't come up with things that you want me to teach you. Oh, here's a good one. Deb BG says, I've never taken an online class, but I love your videos and I'm tempted to try a taster class because I'm curious and obviously would love to learn from you. Do you think someone who doesn't like prompts or structure would enjoy a class? I tend to have to be in the mood to draw and paint. Thanks for any reply. Absolutely, yes. I find an awful lot of teachers do classes that are a bit monkey see, monkey do, where they do a page and you watch them do it and they show you how they do it and they show you what they use and they show you it from start to finish and here's how you do it, blah blah blah, and at the end you've got a perfectly exact page the same as theirs. Okay, if that's what you like to do, that's great. A lot of people don't like to do that. It would drive me crazy to do something like that because I don't want to do pages what everybody else has done. I want to do my own. I might take the techniques and, you know, draw something completely different, or I might take the same colour scheme, or I might take the idea but do it in a different way. But just because you're not doing the same page as I am doesn't mean you're not learning. The point is to watch the videos, to absorb the techniques, try them out, and if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. You might find that if you come back to it in 6 months, actually that kind of class does work for you now because you've learned a bit more about your materials. So don't in any way feel that you have to do what the class says you have to do for the day. You do not sit down and watch me and get all the same materials and then do exactly the same thing in your journal. You can if you want to, but I don't encourage that, okay? I don't want you to produce a journal that looks like mine. I want you to produce a journal that looks like yours. And, you know, I may be showing you how to do a specific font, or I may be showing you how to draw a donut with sprinkles on it, but at the end of the day, your donut should look different to mine, even if you're using the same technique. Because it will have parts of you in it and you will have the opportunity to change it so that it fits your idea of what a donut is, okay? For instance, say later on and I'm doing a drawing class and I might say, okay, we're going to draw a dog. Well, everybody's idea of what a dog looks like is going to be different. Cats basically all look the same, they're just different colours, but dogs are very, very different. So if I was teaching a class on dogs, I might show you how to draw Maddie, for instance, because she's very photogenic. I have a lot of photos of her. She's got lots of colour and expression in her face, so she's quite easy to draw. Then I might show you, well, if your dog has floppy ears, here's how you draw floppy ears. If you've got a dog that's got lots of long hair around its eyes, this is how you would do that. If you've got a dog that has a very pug nose, this is how you would shorten it, okay? So I tend to show you how to do a basic thing and then elaborate on that depending on what you do. So think of it in terms of drawing a girl's face. Here's how to draw a girl's face and here's how to draw one with short hair or long hair or pigtails or glasses or an older lady or a younger lady. If you then want to say, well, I don't want to draw your dog, I want to draw my dog, there is nothing stopping you getting a picture of your dog, following the steps that I take to draw Maddie, and then making the adjustments that you need and saying, well, okay, my dog has big floppy ears and big bushy eyebrows and a very small snout. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to adjust it accordingly using these extra bits that you've given us. So you can draw your dog instead of having to draw my dog. But if you want to just copy me and draw my dog, you can do that as well. Okay? Does that make sense? As for being in the mood to draw and paint, like I said, I encourage everyone to do 5 minutes a day, whether they're in the mood or not. 5 minutes is not long, okay? And you don't have to necessarily be in the mood to do anything. You might, in your 5 minutes, perhaps pick up your journal and, oh look, yesterday you decided that you were going to stick this in the front, like a title page, and you might spend your 5 minutes colouring in the background, or doodling a border, or perhaps cutting out bits of a magazine, or sticking washi tape around it, or whatever. That might be your 5 minutes for today because you just really don't feel like doing anything much at all. Or you might not think you feel like doing anything much. You might just find a blank page and think, right, okay, I'm just going to write. I'm just going to write what's in my head for 5 minutes, set a timer, and then I'm done. And at the end of the 5 minutes, you might think, thank God that's over for the day. Or you might think, you know what, I quite enjoyed that. I might do another page of something and just do some collage work or something. Okay? That is what I expect from my students, is 5 minutes a day. How you do your 5 minutes, in what order, which class, or anything else is entirely up to you, because I don't believe in saying, this is what you must do today. Anything you want to do, you can do. You can come up with your own prompts. There's millions of them out there. If you go onto LiveJournal and search for 5,000 journal questions, you'll find a list of 5,000 journal questions that you can print out and you can write about or draw about or whatever. I'm not about prompts, I'm about teaching you techniques. And you can use that technique that we're doing today and say, well, I want to draw a quote. I don't want to do that, I want to do a quote. So I'll do the fancy writing, but I'll do it as a quote. Oh, I don't want to do a quote today, and you've done a quote, so I'll just do it as my title. Or I'll take some sticky labels and I'll just draw some sticky labels out that I can use later if I want to. How you work through the class is entirely up to you. There is no structure. There's enough structure if you need it, but there is no particular structure if you don't.